What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin price chart. We're going to take a look at the total altcoin market cap chart. Several of these altcoins. We'll take a peek over there at the Ripple XRP price chart. But there's been a lot of action going on here on the cryptocurrency charts over the weekend. And I thought I would come on here and absolutely talk about these things. We got other things to update you guys on in regards to, like I said last week, that I would be looking for content to help find informative content. I have found a channel that I thought was very informative, and I'd like to share that with you guys and talk about the new stuff that's going on. Well, obviously, we're dealing with a lot of things with XRP being delisted for trade on a lot of the different exchanges. I know a lot of people are playing with that term of whether or not it's delisted or it's just being suspended or whatnot. In the end, not being allowed to trade within the United States on several different cryptocurrency exchanges. But also, we have noticed over this weekend that Bittrex came out and said that they will no longer be supporting trade for United States residents for privacy coins for Monero, Zcash, and Dash. So we'll take a look at that too and see, is that really actually something of like a war on crypto, or is there potentially something more just to do with Bittrex and all of that? I've been in this market long enough to remember in 2017 that Bittrex was actually one of the biggest exchanges back then. Right now, Bittrex isn't that big of an exchange anymore. Most people don't actually use Bittrex, but back in the day, it was like one of the top three. Back in the day, the biggest exchanges were Bitfinex, Poloniex, and Bittrex, and those were really the three ones during the 2017 bull run. I don't think Binance even came out until after the bull run was already over. But we'll start here by looking at the charts. Bitcoin ended up hitting $34,800 over the weekend. An exciting time for cryptocurrencies in general. The altcoin market cap started taking off as well. Ethereum ended up hitting $1,100. So we're seeing a really big move up in crypto, and I thought we would just talk about some of these things. As for Bitcoin, I had posted over there on my Twitter because I'll talk more about bcbacker.com. In the end, I've had to pause it for a minute, and I've stopped enrollment on there. And one of the main reasons why is because it's an exit plan course, right? And now at this point, preparing for an exit, we have a lot of new people pouring into this market, and I really wanted to, I framed that course to be how my exit plan is structured, on how I'm intending to be getting out of this market, how I'm planning on doing like market rotation and things like that. And now as this market is climbing really high, it's getting more towards, it's time for those things to start getting executed. And since we have a lot of new people coming into this market, it's time for me to kind of pull that thing for a minute. It's got to be completely reframed to show a lot more of the risks now. And I don't have to do that, but it's just something that I really want to do because I really care about everybody doing well. In the end, not everybody will do well in this market. There are going to be winners and there's going to be losers, but I certainly want to play the role in helping people be the winners. But as Bitcoin continues to climb and climb and climb, the percentages that are available here on Bitcoin are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's really exciting for me because I'm reaching towards my exit areas, right? So my exit areas are up in here between $45,000 to $60,000 is where I'm going to start selling off a lot of my Bitcoin and start rotating that on into the altcoins. But if we look at it, on average right here in the middle, it's about a 65% rise. From the bottom of this bear market, Bitcoin has risen 900%, right? So it's risen 900%. And just in September, it has risen over 200%. So for the most part, most of the gains available in Bitcoin, in my opinion, are already gone, right? Everybody who got in during the times where it was really scary, where people were saying it's going to crash, where it's not going to go anywhere, those were the opportunities to really buy. And a lot of times in bull markets, that's just how these things work, is that people don't believe it's a bull market until it's just way too late. So I'm really excited that we're now reaching my exit areas pretty soon for Bitcoin. If it does continue to move up from right here, of course, there's always still the chance that we go back down and we hit that all-time high again, and maybe we see some mid-cycle alt season. But as of how things have been playing out with Bitcoin so far, it sure is looking like we're following what happened back in 2013, which led to just one alt season. As for the total altcoin market cap, it did have a break to the upside over the weekend. So this is exciting because we've looked at this for so long to see this finally start to occur. And there we have it. You can see how we've followed our 2016, 2017 structure so much. And we can see that we were able to break from this range area that we've been in. Are we going to go make a big, massive run up just like we did back in 2017? That's what I'm looking for. This may have been in 2016 when this part happened. Yeah, 2016. So in the previous bull run, at least. least. So exciting to see this move up, exciting to see a break of this range. It's been stuck in this range for about a month and a half at this point. So finally it did break to the upside. A lot of that to do with Ethereum really breaking out. We could see that Ethereum has now retraced to all Fibonacci retracement levels of the entire bear market at this point, now peaking its head above the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement. So it got through the 618,702 and did poke through the 786 here over the weekend. As for XRP, still hanging out down here near the 22 to 23 cent price level. Now, what's happening in this market right now is really exciting, right? So in my course, I talked about market rotating and rebalancing. I'm all for doing a lot of rebalancing for my own personal portfolio. And essentially, and let's say you have two different coins and each of them have the potential to go up 1,000%. Well, if one of them takes off first and goes up 600% while the other one stays flat, for me, for my rebalancing, I just do the math on that. I say, well, if I sell this at now that it's up 600%, yeah, it's going to go up a little bit more. It's going to reach out to that full 1,000% at some point. But if I sell this one that's up at 600% and I rotate it down into the one that's still super low, well, then I'm actually going to make 6,000% total from those funds, right? So I made the 600, then moved it down and then did the 1,000. So I made 6,000%. So for me, for market rotation, it's a huge thing for me going into this bull run that I have a lot of consolidating of my portfolio that I have to do from a lot of these altcoins that I've held throughout the entire bear market. And while for XRP, it's kind of one of those things like it's just such a hit. I'm banging my head against the wall at this point because right now it's so incredibly attractive from a price standpoint for rebalancing for me. The problem is trying to figure out how serious is the scenario that we have, right? On this channel, we talk about it all the time. Everything it's all just events like happening at the time that they're supposed to happen and all that good stuff. But this one in itself is so unique. This situation that's going on with XRP is so unique in that we haven't seen something of this magnitude ever before. And well, the narrative of this story is that, well, starting today, I believe is when we start having our first exchange delistings or trading delistings for XRP. And then throughout the next 2 weeks, we start to see a lot more of it as well. Is that, well, there's actual technical problems on the chart. The chart has broken from a weekly time frame, from a monthly time frame, the chart has broken. And then at the same time, trading is not going to be available for United States residents on most exchanges. I do believe there's a couple that are still saying that they're going to hold it for now. But as for the big ones, they're saying that they're having to stop the trading for XRP. So the big associated risks, in my opinion, right now going into this with XRP at these prices and wanting to do my rotation play into it is, well, am I really going to be able to sell this stuff in a couple months from right now if the prices do go up really high and I want to let go of some of it? Am I going to have that opportunity at that time? Right now, there's a couple exchanges that are saying that they're going to continue trading XRP, such as Uphold, and I don't believe that Kraken has come out and said that they are going to be delisting. So Kraken may be an opportunity as well. But will those things change if things continue to get more serious? Right now, we do have Coinbase and Binance US clearly coming out and saying that they are going to stop. So, what a tricky situation. And of course, that comes back to, with over half my audience lives in the United States. I appreciate everybody in the world. It's fantastic that this is a worldwide channel, but half the audience does live in the United States. So it's a conundrum here. Now, over the weekend, I did try to do my part in trying to find some informative content that was really kind of delivering content in a way that I like to see it regarding everything going on with XRP. And I was incredibly impressed by the show On the Chain with Jeff and Chip. I did post this on my Twitter last night. I think their channel is absolutely phenomenal. You could tell that these guys put in the work when they're transitioning through everything. You can tell they're very well prepared on what they're going to be talking about. And I was just super impressed by how informative the content is that these guys deliver. And the thing that absolutely blew my mind was last night I looked at their subscriber count and saw that they only had like 6,940 subscribers. And I was so shocked because their content is so good. It's mind-blowing that they only have that many subscribers. So if you would love to get some really informative content, On the Chain Live is an incredible place to go to. I highly recommend it if you're just wanting content, just informative content delivered to you really straight. And these guys seem to be incredibly prepared before they do it. So let's get that subscriber count boosted for them because they absolutely deserve it. A great channel. Now, let me go ahead and pivot here really quick because obviously obviously there's a lot of worry about this whole, XRP being delisted on a lot of the US exchanges. And then over the weekend, Bittrex came out and announced that they're going to be delisting privacy coins, Monero, Dash, and Zcash. So there's been a lot of buzz throughout cryptocurrency on whether or not are we seeing a war on crypto happening right here by this occurring with Bittrex. Well, for US exchanges, this is the first one to happen. Not only that, but a lot of the other US exchanges also haven't touched a couple of these privacy coins, in particular Monero. Monero has never made its way over to Coinbase, and this isn't the first time that I've seen Bittrex proactively delist coins. So when I saw this and I saw the particular brand or exchange that was delisting these, the first thing that went through my mind was, well, wait a minute, I've actually seen this actually happen before with Bittrex in particular. And I think it's important to at least go through a little bit of the history of Bittrex to show you why it may not be what it appears to be. Is that a war on cryptocurrency in regards to privacy coins? It could turn into way more than what it is right now. But I thought just because it just happens to be Bittrex, I thought we should point to a couple of these things really quick. Is that Bittrex to delist privacy coins, Monero, Dash, and Zcash. So Bittrex announced Friday it will be delisting these coins, continuing a trend of so-called privacy coins being delisted in cryptocurrency exchanges. In a release, the exchange said the coins markets will be removed on Friday, January 15th. Now, one thing I do know about Bittrex is that Bittrex was denied their BIT license. So the New York Department of Financial Services rejected Seattle-based cryptocurrency exchange Bittrex application for a BIT license. This was back in April of 2019. The letter goes into detail saying that Bittrex's current policies and procedures are either non-existent or inadequate, questioning the level of authority and effectiveness of the compliance officer. So there was a problem where Bittrex was denied their BIT license. A lot of BIT licenses were handed out, except Bittrex was one of the ones that were denied. And a BIT license is a common term used for a business license of virtual currency activities. It's issued by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Then CoinDesk had released an article back in 2019 also saying why they were rejected their application for a BIT license. And it says throughout the application process, Bittrex was repeatedly informed of the regulatory requirements for the licenses it sought and provided with letters describing its deficiencies so the company could address them. Instead, the company spent many rounds of interaction with DFS, either promising compliance and failing to deliver it, or trying to persuade DFS that, unlike our other regulated firms, it did not have to comply. So there's been a history with Bittrex trying to get its BIT license from the state of New York. At one point, Coinbase added Dash. So if you know that, Dash and Zcash are both traded on Coinbase, and Coinbase Pro confirmed the addition of the Dash digital coin to its trading mix, but under certain conditions. New York and the United Kingdom will be exempted from the trading launch due to various regulatory limitations. Here's the announcement right here on Coinbase. Dash is now available on Coinbase. Starting today, Coinbase supports Dash at Coinbase.com and in the Coinbase Android and iOS apps. Coinbase customers can now buy, sell, convert, send, receive, or store Dash. Dash will be available for customers in all Coinbase-supported regions with the exception of New York State. So we do know that the state of New York has rejected Bittrex for their BIT license. We know that Dash has been listed on Coinbase, and it was listed with the caveat that it could not be traded in New York. In this article from The Block, New York residents can now trade USDC and Zcash on Coinbase. This is from February 10th, 2020. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has launched trading support for USDC and Zcash for New York residents. Coinbase first launched USDC and Zcash trading in late 2018, but New York has not been a supported jurisdiction until now. The state's stringent regulatory requirements were likely behind the delay. So part of me does wonder if any of that actually just plays into a specific situation for Bittrex trying to get their BIT license. It could turn into more. This could be the beginning stages of something for privacy coins throughout the rest of the cryptocurrency market. However, I did want to point to the fact that I've seen Bittrex do this before, and this was back in June of 2019 when Bittrex announced the delisting of 42 coins for US users. And down here in this list right here, you can see that OMG, Omise Go, and CVC were both in here, Civic. Since then, since the delisting of those coins here on Bittrex, Coinbase has added both of those. So I have seen Bittrex proactively do things where bigger exchanges like Coinbase have eventually listed those coins. So we saw that happen here with Omise Go and with Civic on Bittrex, and then they were eventually added on Coinbase. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Maybe it is the start of something bigger. Maybe it's just having to do with Bittrex. But as for the charts for today, Bitcoin's creeping up there. Bitcoin's had a pretty big pullback this morning. Will it lead into more? We got to give it a little bit of time to breathe here and see if we're just going to keep grinding our way up and we're full blown parabola right now because it has been going up and up and up and it seems to be faster and faster every day. At some point, a blow off will likely happen on this chart, which is one of those reasons why it's got me a little uneasy for a lot of the new people coming into this market and then heading over to bcbacker.com where this is a thing where it's talking about my exit plan, right? Talking about me getting ready to sell out of this market, and you have people wanting to flood into the market. So I'm going to spend some time updating that site over the next 2 weeks. So anybody who's already has access to that website, you will continue to remain access through that time period, and you will also have access to the new content that I do on there. So I'm going to update a lot of the sections in there and the lectures that are in there, and put new charts with new information and any type of changed opinions that I do have on this market at this time. A lot of the content on there remains consistent in regards to rebalancing, in regards to Fibonacci's and all that stuff. But as for talking about specific scenarios and everything like that, we're starting to get some information show up here on this chart. So I'm going to update all the content on there for that. As for the XRP price chart, just sitting down here in this range, right? I mean, we can draw trend lines, and I actually I had this on the chart during the whole first video that I did. When I was talking about this, and you have your breakout, you have your pullback, and potential back test of a trend line. But to sit here and say the market is incredibly bullish because I can draw a trend line right here and I can show it coming back to back test this trend line, it's just I like to get way more information than just that. It's hard for me to base a lot of stuff, but I know a lot of people were pointing to that. I did show that earlier last week. I had it pretty much on the screen during the whole time I was talking during the video, but it's a frustrating situation. With how bullish this market has been over this past week and how much rebalancing I would love to do, there is stuff I would love to just sell right now because the prices are higher and just throw it all into XRP. Just from a technical level and a technical way of how I like to do things, I would love to do that right now. It's something that I absolutely would do right now. The only thing is we just don't have any information coming out of there, and I understand everything right now. We've had enough time pass by where it's not just this big shocking blow anymore, right? We've had enough time to kind of sit back, ponder it, throw a lot of stuff out there, get a lot of questions answered at this point within the community now. And just waiting to get more information on our end. In the end, I always think this, right? So I've, in these couple of days that I've had off, thinking to myself still, and I said this at the end of my last video too, is that XRP is still the best digital asset. And like I was watching the On the Chain show last night, and there, they had a lawyer on there, and they were talking how many people who bought XRP actually thought of the company Ripple. And everybody who's poured into this market right in here, a majority of people, when they go into Coinbase and they see XRP, they just see XRP. They don't even know what Ripple is at that point. So how can you claim that it's a security if they don't even know what Ripple is at that point, right? They're using the digital asset because it's the fastest and the cheapest. I had somebody send me a text message yesterday, and they were telling me how they had bought, a lot of different altcoins, and then they were sending them between the exchanges. And even just to send $100, they were telling me what the fees were for each of them. And one of them was like $15. One of them was like $27 to send 100. And these are popular coins. Some of these are listed on Coinbase right now. And even myself, I sent some Bitcoin over the weekend, and it costed me $5.50 to send the Bitcoin, and it was 32 minutes before I got my first confirmation on my transaction. So it was unconfirmed for 32 minutes, right? It's just terrible, right? But from the aspect of like, what's the fastest, what's the cheapest, XRP is just like it blows it all out of the water, right? And it's just really unfortunate that we have this scenario happening where it's not just like a news narrative, right? Like for me, it's always like, well, the news is going to be bad, right? You're going to get a bad news event. They're going to try to shake you out at the bottom, but it goes beyond just being news. For this situation, you have actual delistings happening. You have the halting of trading actually happening, and it goes beyond just being news, and it becomes a situation of where it could actually really impact you. So there's so much caution that has to be exercised right here, and that's my frustration of wanting to get more information or not. Like, how serious is this? Is this thing just going to flip? Like, you saw how quick all those exchanges came out and said it. Is there more information that could come out and make them change their mind in half a second? And that's why I've just been like, gosh, get us some information out there, please. Because right now the prices are attractive to me for a massive rebalancing after what happened with the altcoins over the weekend. There's a lot of stuff I would love to just rebalance right into XRP. But at the same time, there's this massive caution of, is it going to be delisted? So hopefully throughout this week, there's no holidays this week. This is great, right? So 2 weeks ago we had Christmas Eve and Christmas. Last week we had New Year's Eve and New Year's. This week we have no holidays. So hopefully we get massive information dumps this week, and that can provide some more optimism going on here with the XRP price chart and with the whole scenario Ripple's dealing with the SEC. So looking forward to this week and hoping we get a lot of information. So like I mentioned, enrollment is paused over here on bcbacker.com. It'll be coming back up within 2 weeks. Everybody who's already in the course, you still have access to the course, and you'll have access to the new material that I add. But for now, we'll move on from this. You guys can follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. Again, check out these guys on the chain. You can follow them. You can check out this link over here, this post I made over here on Twitter. Subscribe to their channel over here on YouTube. And well, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a long time since we've finished it with it being on the screen, but we'll do it today. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need to pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.